What's up guys, DJ back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about scalpers. How do we stop these guys from ruining the hobby and driving up prices and selling out all these products? So today we're actually going to do a bit of a go inside the mind of a scalper and see what they do and actually, analyze what they do, because sometimes to beat the enemy, you need to know thy enemy. It's like some sort of movie quote. I love movies. So today we're going to be talking about how do these guys do what they do and see where the loopholes are. See if there's any way we can try to put a stop to scalpers. Now, there has been many suggestions being made all over the place on social media and stuff. And there's a lot of ideas out there. Right now, we don't really have much of an answer. But I thought it'd be a good idea to actually just go inside the mind of one of these guys and see what they're thinking, how they do this stuff to, the hobby, and how do they go about doing it. So in a way, yes, I'm kind of teaching people how to do it, but at the same time, we're going to try to find any way possible to try to minimize something like this happening ongoing, because this seems to be happening ongoing with modern product especially. So let's get into it. So guys, I just want to clarify the difference between a flipper and a scalper is flippers usually they just buy like one or two things, then they sell it the next day for, they flip it, right? They do a quick flip. But with scalpers, they don't really leave anything else for the rest of us. And of course, I'm going to explain all of that in just a second. But that's what they do. That's why people don't really like what they do. And some people don't even like flippers. And, it kind of makes sense, people making profit and money on Pokemon and stuff. But that's just how it is now in this day and age. And we kind of have to live with it. But also, it'd be nice to see if we can do anything about these scalpers, because the scalpers are actually leaving the stores dry and not leaving much else for everyone and, driving up prices. So let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about scalpers. What do they do? First step, 101, scalper teism, is you need to have capital, all right? They need to have money to do what they do, okay? So if you don't have money, you can't really be a scalper, because scalpers buy a lot. They buy up stock, With the casual flippers and stuff, they might just buy one or two things, like I said before. But, you need capital to be a scalper. So can we stop people from earning money? No. Can we stop people from spending as much money as they want on whatever they want? We can't really stop anything there. So technically, right there and then, that's the first step. If they have money, they got, the power to buy all these products and empty shelves and empty pre-orders and stuff like that. Then how do we stop that? Of course, I'll share some ideas later down the line, but we can't really stop people from spending whatever money they have earned from their job or whatever they got the money, rob a bank or something, but yeah, they have lots of money, all right? So that's step one, have money, okay? The step two, what they do is they focus on a particular product that they know will do well. How do they know it's going to do well? Because there's people like us, YouTubers and Instagrammers and Facebook and the hype social media arena, right? Where you have people like myself or other people talking about this is a good thing to invest in. This is a good thing to, this is a collectible item. I think a lot of people will buy it. When I say something like that, or when big people say something like that, big YouTubers, big celebrities, when they start buying stuff and they say, this is, last time it did well, Charizards do well, so you should probably buy a Charizard, blah, blah, blah. So they listen to a lot of people like us, all right? And of course, they do their own research. So yeah, they'll probably do their own research. They'll follow a lot of the big guys and see what's happening, see what the trends, see what's happening, and focus on that and kind of educate themselves. So in a way, they are engaged in the hobby by accident, all right? But probably not by the love of the hobby, but more so because of the money thing. That's what drives these guys, okay? And I'm not saying that there's scalpers that aren't collectors or people that love the hobby, but most of the time, these guys are usually always thinking about the money, and the collectors don't really like that, all right? Because it affects them, of course, and the players too. So that's what they do. They have a lot of money. They educate themselves by following the hobby and watching YouTubers and all that stuff, and find out what's a good product to invest in, what's the up and coming sets coming out that have good potential. All right. So we did this with Vivid Voltage, the pre-release kit box. Okay. A lot of people were saying this is a good box, including myself. I think there's a lot of potential there with investability and collectability. The set also amazing rares. You know, what more to it? The Champions Path, same thing. A lot of people said invest in the ETBs, get those ETBs, okay? And that's what they did, okay? So they followed that. They listened to their advice. They follow the hype train. So what they do, they have a lot of money and they say, what should I buy with $5,000 cash, okay? All right, Champions Path ETBs seem to be, you know, what everyone's talking about. The pre-orders are up, okay? I'm just gonna buy as much as I can. I'm gonna drop $5,000, boom, on Champions Path ETBs. Nothing else, just that one product. And that's what they do. They buy up a lot of one product. Usually the product that people want the most, okay? And sometimes, you know, some scalpers just buy everything and, you know, they don't really focus on one product. But I think that's probably the the best idea you could do as a scalper is just focus on that one particular thing, because that will give you the most profit. So why would you buy other things that probably won't give you much profit? So they're going to focus on the thing that gives them the profit the most, okay? So that's what they're going to do. They're going to buy up as much as they can. They're going to drop all the money they have on that particular product. And then what they're going to do, okay, when that product arrives, they're going to take a photo of their product and they're going to put it on their socials, Instagram, Facebook, and they're going to advertise it. And they're going to be like, hey, look what I got. I got 100 ETBs or whatever, and they're for sale, okay? And people are like, okay, they're for sale. How much is it? It's double or triple what they paid for it. And why do they price it like that? Because they bought everything, okay? And not just them. Obviously, one person can't buy every single product. But if there's multiple scalpers or there's multiple people buying up everything. So let's say I have me and 10 of my friends do the same thing. We buy 100 Champions Path ETBs. You know, that's 1,000 ETBs just with 10 people, okay? And if more people continue to do that, all right, it's not going to leave much stock left for everyone else, okay? So that's what they do, okay? They buy up all that stock and then they say, hey, you know, everywhere else is sold out. You're not going to find it anywhere else. I have them available for 200 a piece, 300 a piece, or whatever the dollar value is, which is at least double what they paid for it, okay? And that's how they make their money. That's how they make their profit, okay? So it's really quick profit. In a way, it's a fusion of flipping. But so what they do is when they get that stock, they immediately think of selling for more than what they paid. And the collectors, the gamers, the people who want to buy this stuff, if they're too slow, which, you know, not all of us have that kind of cash to just drop on Pokemon, right? We have other life things to think about. So we look at that, we look at the big W's or the Walmarts or whatever, EB Games, Zing. We look at the card shops, okay, and they're all sold out. And they sold out within 24 hours because so many people have bought multiple items of this thing and not leaving anything else for the rest of us, all right? So I'm not being salty about it, but that's sometimes how it is. And that's why a lot of things sell out real quick, because people buy so much of it, so many multiples. So that's what happens when the average collector, the casual G.I. Joe, will come up. They look on the pre-order site. Oh, all sold out. Where can I buy this? Where can I buy it? All right, let's go to eBay. Let's go to Facebook. Let's go to Instagram. Let's see if anyone has these for sale, because I'm desperate to buy one because I missed out. I didn't get a chance to buy one. And then you see all these other scalpers who have so much of it and they're selling it for a profit, okay? And, you know, it sells because they know you can't get it anywhere else except from them, okay? And, you know, that's pretty much the story of a scalper. So what they do, they might have spent $10,000, they might have spent $5,000. They sell out everything for double or triple. Let's say you spent $5,000. They knew the risk going in. It's like, oh, that's a lot of money. Not many people do that, but after selling everything they have, they're going to have $10,000, all right? And they have $5,000 profit, so that's good. You know, that's great. I just put $5,000 in, boom, instantly another $5,000 back. So what do I do with that now as a scalper? What do I do? What's up and coming? Yeah, because, you know, it worked this time. it's going to work again, right? That's what we're going to think, right? So what does a dog do when you give him a treat? You say, sit, here's a treat. Okay, the dog will be like, wow, I get a treat for sitting. Okay, next time he says, sit, I'm going to sit and I'm going to get a treat, okay? So it's the same kind of concept. They made $5,000 profit. They made double the money. They made triple the money on this time with Champions Path. So what's up and coming? Vivid Voltage or Shiny V set or 4.5 Sword and Shield, something, okay? So they look at that, okay, it worked this time. Now I have $10,000. Now I'm going to buy double what I bought last time, you know? I'm going to buy $10,000 worth of Vivid Voltage pre-release kits or $10,000 worth of the new set that's coming out pre-ordered, and, you know, just do the same thing, right? Buy that $10,000 and, you know, take a photo and say, hey, this is all available. I have it. There you go. So that is the story of a scalper. Now, where we can see loopholes, okay, the money thing, we can't really stop them having much money because there's people that earn a lot of money here in the world, all right? There's people that don't earn much money, and some say, you know, there's more there's more people hungry than people with money or something like that, but it's crazy, right? So people have money, we can't really stop that from happening, okay? We can't fire them from their jobs because we don't have that power, right? What we could possibly do is limit the amount these guys buy, okay? But the problem with that is there's so many, it's hard to do, okay? If you're a big shop retail and you have all your stock listed, like, you know, displayed on the wall, how are you going to tell a customer, nah, you can't have 10 of those. Nah, you can't buy all of those, you know? They have the money. They can pay for it, right? And yes, they could say that, okay? They have done that before, you know, with the coronavirus. They kind of did that with, you know, the supermarkets with milk and, you know, the necessary items, rice, the toilet paper and all that stuff. They say, nah, you can only buy one of each item. And that was policed by the government. Who's going to police this, okay? Who's going to police this? The GameStops, the game stores that are selling these items, they want to sell these items because at the end of the day, they bought those items too at a price and they need to sell that too to make their profit and to continue buying their stuff. Like, it trickles down, right? So I guess we could do that. A lot of people have said limit the amount people pre-order, limit the amount they can buy. But then when every store does that, let's say there's 20 different stores out there that sell Pokemon products, and they say you can only buy 2 Champions Path ETBs, or you can only buy 2 pre-release kits, okay? Then what is the scalper gonna do? They're just gonna buy 2 from here, 2 from there, 2 from there, 2 from there, and 2 from everywhere, okay? And then they're gonna end up with so much stock anyway, okay? Yeah, I could see it could be a bit of a deterrent, but I don't know if that's a permanent solution or if it's going to be stopping so many people from doing what they do, okay? And how do you say, nah, you can't make profit on this, you know, because it's what people do. They look to make money fast and easy, okay? And that could be a very easy thing to do, and that's probably why they have that much money, because they're successful somewhere else, and they're trying to make this a bit of a successful thing by flipping it real quick and getting profit so fast. So what can the stores do? You know, the stores have to sell stuff too. What else? What other weaknesses can we see here? Maybe we just don't buy from these guys. Well, unfortunately, sometimes if there's nothing left on the market, where else are you going to buy from? And, you know, me personally, I refuse to buy anything more than regular retail price, standard retail price. So even with Vivid Voltage pre-release kits, I was telling people to buy those things because I think they're a great investment. I bought one, okay? And before I even bought that one, I saw so many double and triple in price. I bought that one at regular retail price. And even though I know that it has huge potential, I still only bought one. I didn't buy anything more than that because, for one, I don't have the money that these guys do, okay? And number two, all right, I only need one. I don't know, but that's just me. I only need one, and I refuse to pay anything more than what they're supposed to sell for. They're supposed to sell for $40. People are selling for $100, $120. And, you know, technically there is nothing wrong with that. That is the market value right now, but I just don't pay that. You know, that's just me. So if everybody was like me and they just didn't pay inflated prices, for example, then these guys will have to drop their prices eventually because they can't sell it for double or triple. they can only sell it for the standard price that they bought it for, or just a little bit higher. Okay, you know, what do people think as well? Reprints. People think Pokemon reprints these things to stop these things from happening, but as of late, reprints. Okay, I'm gonna make a separate video on this, but reprints are a good thing. But you know, the prices of the boxes that they reprint, it has only a slight effect. You know, the prices still rise. The Hidden Fates ETBs, the Hidden Fates tins, even after reprints, the prices are still very similar to what they are before the reprint happened, you know? So yeah, of course we see a bit of a dip, but there's still not enough supply to meet the demand, and these guys still buy up the stuff. So they're gonna, it's not really gonna change much, but reprints, you know, separate video, is a good thing. I will talk about that in another video. But so how do we stop these guys? You know, I want to hear your suggestions in the comment section. People have suggested that, you know, limiting the amount these guys buy. Yeah, you can do that, but does it really stop these guys from buying, you know, so much? How can you stop these guys buying stuff when they have the money? You know, they're not exactly, you know, what do they say? Buyer's freedom, buyer's choice, or whatever like that. If you had the money, if you had thousands of dollars, would you be doing the same thing? Maybe not, you know, on a, if you're thinking about everyone else and, you know, you're the type of person that wants to give back and all that. So maybe you won't, but who's to say that a lot of people probably will, you know? Like, it's easy money that these guys are making. You can buy a case of evolutions, you can buy a case of this or whatever like that, and then flip it the next day for a profit. And who's to stop you? You know, and we're trying to put a stop to it, but how do we put a stop to it? There's so many questions there, I don't even know how to answer, or I'm not sure if we could find an answer for that. Limiting to one per person, that's just from that store, you know? They can go to a billion other stores and buy and do the same thing there, you know, buy one from 20 different stores. You'll still have 20 ETBs, or you'll still have 20 booster boxes that everybody else doesn't really have. Pokemon can reprint as much as they want. Maybe they can print even more. I know that might upset a lot of people, but if they reprinted so much, it could devalue these items and then put these guys to like, oh, well, fine. You know, I can't sell this for double or triple because, you know, there's only so much money you have. He might have $10,000, but if Pokemon reprints so many, they reprint 1 million or billion or whatever, not a billion, but you know what I mean? Like they could print a lot of stock, more than what these scalpers can afford, even them. And you know, even if they bought so much, if they try to resell it, it's like, why would I buy from this guy when I could go to the store and they still have it available because they reprinted so much? Okay, now I'm not suggesting that as a solution, but that could be something that could stop these guys or prevent these guys from doing it. But at the end of the day, a lot of people here are trying to make money, and I can't say no, don't try to make money, you know, you're not allowed to. But yeah, scalpers can affect the way this game is. You know, they drive up prices, and they also don't leave much else for everyone, you know, who want the average G.I. Joe, the casual guys that want to buy stuff. So a lot of, you know, people hate these guys, hate these scalpers. I wouldn't put them at the same level as scalpers. In my opinion, the levels are, you know, the collector, okay, and then you have the investors, maybe the long-term investor, because you kind of classify long-term investor as kind of a collector, because if they're that interested or invested in it, you know, for the long term, you know, you can kind of see that they're really a collector at heart. And a lot of investors and flippers and stuff have been collectors or are collectors. So I'm not saying, you know, everyone is bad, and who are we to judge, you know, other people. But, you know, this is just some of the general feelings that I've been seeing on socials and stuff. So I thought I'd get it out there, talk about scalpers. But scalpers are at the very bottom. You know, we got collectors, investors, and then we got flippers, and then we got scalpers, which a lot of people hate. But honestly speaking, how do you stop them? I'll leave that answer to you guys. I know I've tried to answer it here with some of those ideas that a lot of people have shared, but I don't know if we'll ever find a true answer to do, like, to stop people buying what they want to buy, you know? and selling what they want to sell. Okay, and of course, the government and stuff, different governments, different places, but if you're selling over a certain amount and you're earning so much money from it, you need to have like a business or a business license or a storefront or an online store to do that. But obviously I think these guys are avoiding those loopholes. There's loopholes to a lot of things, but I can't buy 20 cars and start selling cars and cars and cars, because I'm pretty sure in Australia they limit you to like 10 cars a year. If you're buying more than 10 cars, then you're considered like a business, and you need to have a ABN and all that other stuff and a license, and you're reselling. You're a store without the store fees. You're a store that doesn't pay anything else except the price that you bought those things for, and you're reselling it. All right, so I think governments have tried to stop this too in certain ways, but the Pokemon arena doesn't really fly under that radar for government. Government's like, it's Pokemon, whatever. But I have seen it with cars. I used to buy and sell cars, but they have limits on that, and you can only do so much. So unless you're a car shop or a person who's allowed to sell cars, got a license and all that stuff, that's the only time you can really do it. But Pokemon is like infancy. It's still new. I don't think it really flies as the same as cars or anything like that, or phones. I don't know where you're from, or that's just where I'm from. In Australia they do put a bit of policies in place for something similar like this, but we still see the scalpers here in Australia and buying up the stock for Pokemon. But obviously I've heard so much from US and the UK, and it is what it is, unfortunately. Hopefully we can find a solution. But at the same time, I don't even know if we could stop this from happening. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you again in 2 to 3 days' time. Bye.